All right, here's a video that describes writing conic section parabolas in two different forms. You'll notice numbers 3 and 4 are in general form that we're going to move to standard form. And then numbers 5 and 6 are in standard form, and we need to move them to general form. Okay? So I only do one of each problem. Let's start with number 4 here. Okay? So number 4, first thing I need to do is recognize this. So I'm going to split this into two different parentheses, x minus 3, x minus 3. And you can FOIL it out, and hopefully you're going to get x squared minus 6x plus 9. On this side, you're going to distribute the 4, and you're going to get 4y minus 32. All right, we need to move all the variables on one side, so I'm going to move 4y over and subtract 4y. And that's going to give me x squared minus 6x minus 4y plus 9 equals negative 32. And Mr. Schwann always likes to keep his constant positive, so he's going to add 32 to both sides. And so his final answer will be x squared minus 6x minus 4y plus 41 equals 0. Okay, so that is the final answer there. So that is in standard form because all the variables are one side and the constant could be positive. Or you could have wrote x squared minus 6x minus 4y equals negative 41. Okay, so that's how you turn a parabola from general form to standard form. And now let's take a look at number 6, because number 6 is something we actually haven't discussed in class yet, but just to give you a helpful hand. Because, again, hopefully you recognize, to go to general form, I needed to make it look like the original problem number 4. But x is squared, so I need to complete the square with x squared. However, hopefully you recognize that there's a number in front of x. And when there's a number in front of x, we have to factor it out to begin with. Okay? So in order to factor it out, we have to put a 6 out here. Remember, we have to make sure x is by itself. So x squared, when you factor out a 6, I get 2x plus something. Okay, so plus y plus 9 equals 0. All right, now here's what we need to do. Normally we would cut b in half, so 1, and then 1 squared is 1. And when we add 1 to the left side, we have to add 1 to the right side. But the 6 we factored out in the beginning is going to affect the 1 that we just put in. So when the 1 goes in on the left, we have to multiply it by 6. The one on the right has to be multiplied by 6 as well. So that's only the kind of the weird change there. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to write 6 parenthesis. We're going to take the square root of x squared, which is x. Copy the sign minus square root of 1 is 1 squared. Okay. And then we still have y plus 9 equals 6. All right, and so x is on one side, and so we need to move y to the other side along with the 9. So we're going to subtract y and subtract 9, which will give us 6 x minus 1 squared equals negative y minus 3. And then the final step is we can't have y be negative, so we need to factor out the negative. So we're going to have this still on the same side. Factor out the negative, we get y plus 3. All right, and now as some of you may remember, we can't have a multiplier on both sides of the equation. So I'm going to move this negative. Again, it's negative 1 over 1. It's like I'm taking the reciprocal, and I'm going to multiply it over here. So the negative moves over with 6, and now this becomes positive. So that is my general form equation after I complete the square. But this one, again, was tricky because there was something in front of x squared, and we have to factor it out. Okay, so if you need to rewatch that, that's fine. But this gives you an idea of how to change forms of parabolic equations in conic section.